Hey everyone, welcome back to FoxTech. This is the first episode in a new series called FoxTech Throwback, where I'll be revisiting devices that I've used in the past and seeing how they get on today. Today we're going back to 2013, yes, 2013, with the Google Nexus 5, codenamed Hammerhead. This was a device manufactured by LG, and this is the device that I used before getting the OnePlus One. I used it for a year in 2013, and it's the one that really got me into tech. Today I'm going to explain why, and let's take a look at it in 2020. The Nexus line was a line of consumer devices where Google managed the operating system, the marketing, the support, and they left the manufacturing down to the partnering OEMs for that device. So manufacturers such as LG, Motorola, and Huawei. Phones in the Nexus line were Google's flagship devices for that time, and it was a way for Google to show what they thought Android should look like on a device. They left all the manufacturing down to the OEMs themselves, and they really focused on the operating system itself. They were the first devices at the time to get Android updates, kind of like the Pixel devices of now. They were always first to Android updates, and I want to revisit the Nexus 5 7 years later and see how it's getting on. So let's get into it. The phone itself. So I got the white version. At the time, I had the black version, and it's a polycarbonate outside, really soft touch polycarbonate outside, mostly plastic with Gorilla Glass 3 on the front. And yeah, this is tiny. This is tiny. Let's take that off, put it to one side and turn it on. As you can tell, the white and black look didn't just start on the Pixel 2. The Panda edition started back in the Nexus 5 days, and here we go, the startup screen for the Nexus 5. So this came with a Snapdragon 800. It came with 16 or 32 gigabytes of RAM. This is the 16 gigabyte model. A 2300 milliamp hour battery, which is tiny these days. 2 gigabytes of RAM, a 5-inch LCD display, which was full HD, 1920 by 1080, and a PPI of 445. So if you think about what the PPI is of an iPad these days, the PPI is actually quite high on this, but the display isn't the best. We have an 8 megapixel rear facing camera with OIS. We have a 1.3 megapixel front facing camera, an absolute potato camera, that thing. Yes, we have a headphone jack, USB, micro USB on the bottom, and we have what looks like dual speakers at the bottom, but one of them is a speaker and one of them is for microphone. It weighs 130 grams, which compared to phones these days is nothing. It is so light and small, and going back to this, I actually miss the feel of a small phone in my hand. It's really nice to hold. It's got a LED notification light at the top. When did you last see one of them? I actually miss that thing. I used to love it, different colors for different notifications. And it's got the white speaker grille, which you might be able to see. A little bit of a color change. There's no SD card slot support, and it came in 16 or 32 gigs. I mean, that is tiny these days. Back then, it didn't seem that much of a problem, but I mean, everyone complains with 64 gigs now, so you have to go to 128. Let's start it up and see how it does. And this was the first phone, the first Android phone to come with KitKat, Android 4.4 KitKat. So old. It'd be interesting once I've updated this to see the software that I can get on it. Okay, so I've just set it up. It's just talking me through, and there you go. Android 4.4 KitKat, taking me back a few years. Crazy to see. I actually think the design of this doesn't look too bad. For 2020, when it was made in 2013, the design's actually quite nice. Plastic is underrated on phones these days. Everything has to be glass and metal. But to be honest, we put cases on our phones. Most of us put cases on our phones anyway, which is made of plastic. So the plastic feel is quite nice, especially when it's soft touch on the back. I like the white and black Panda look, Pixel 2 XL from 7 years ago. And I think it looks quite nice. Flat displays are always good. I mean, the typing experience from KitKat to now has improved dramatically. The vibration motor in this thing is terrible. I was typing then to log in, and it is terrible. It's really bad. I know that the camera wasn't always the best, which is surprising because now the Pixel line is known for its still photography, it's known for its AI and how good it is in the camera department. They've taken massive leaps since the Nexus line, I think, and who knew that 7 years down the line, with one of like the most basic camera setups and not the best camera on the market, Google would step up as much as they have. You could pick one of these up for £299 at the time, SIM-free, which as a flagship Android device at that time, think about what that might be now. It's crazy the pricing that they had at the time. It seems so cheap. It was probably quite competitive, but it seems really cheap looking back. And I think that's a bargain for what you got, especially with all the internals and the specs that are in this device. It gave us the best that it could for that time, and with stock Android, it was a big selling point. I thoroughly enjoyed using the Nexus 5, and it was one of the main things that got me into tech back then. How fluid and smooth the operating system was, and it really got me into Android. Right guys, watch this, 2013, check out this animation for turning the screen off. Ready? I mean, come on. That's pretty cool. You can't deny it. Bring it back, Google, bring it back. So, there we have it, the Nexus 5, the Google Nexus 5 made by LG. A throwback. This was the device that I used for over a year. I loved it. It got me into tech, and I'm gonna try and use it over the next couple of weeks. I don't have a micro SIM to fit in it, so I can't use it as my daily phone, but I will be using it over Wi-Fi. We're at home currently, so I'll be using it over Wi-Fi, and I'll be seeing how it gets on. I'll let you know my thoughts over on Twitter if you don't follow me on there. Give it a follow. I'll post some pictures over on Instagram as well, so check out them if you want to see how bad the potato cameras really are. If you're observant, you've probably seen what the next episode of the FoxTech Throwback will be covering. If not, try and find it. If you want to see more of these videos, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what your favourite devices of the past were. Get in the comments, let's have a discussion. Did anybody try out the Nexus 5 back in 2013? Let me know. This was FoxTech, and I'll catch you on the next one.